We are now joined by new Drake head coach Eric Henderson. And Hendo, I just want to kind of put this into context, right? Drake's been to the NCAA tournament for the last 5 years. Last year, they went 31-4. They won the Missouri Valley regular season title. They won the Missouri Valley tournament. They beat Missouri in the tournament. And then Ben McCollum, after his first season, left. So that gave you the job, which means that's what we're expecting here, right? 31 wins, win the Valley, win the tournament, get to the dance, win a game. That's the baseline for what we're dealing with the Eric Henderson program, correct?
Oh, you guys are starting off like this, huh? Holy cow. I mean, that's something, isn't it? But hey, I don't know if it's a baseline or not, but I do know this. I'm super excited to be here, and the energy and the enthusiasm around Drake basketball is at an all-time high. So I can't say that's all going to happen, but I can tell you this: we're going to have a lot of fun along the way, and I do like our squad.
Yeah, what was the biggest reason, Eric, that you took the Drake job from South Dakota State? Because obviously, you've done a hell of a job at South Dakota State the last, whatever it's been, 6-7 years as a head coach. Why Drake? Why now?
Yeah, it's a great question, because at the end of the day, there's great people at both places. Both places have a tradition of excellence. But at the end of the day, I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to challenge our staff. I wanted to challenge, the values that we have in our program. But I wanted to make sure I was doing it at a place that had the, resources, the energy, the enthusiasm and excitement for the program, that I felt like we could continue to have success. And I'm an Iowa guy, so that helped as well. But, playing in the Missouri Valley Conference was something that was really, really exciting to me. I have a lot of respect for the programs in our league, the coaches in our league. And at the end of the day, I just felt like it was a great opportunity for me to do all those things.
So last year, Hendo, before the Field of 68 opening day showcase, I remember asking you got a backcourt of just freshmen at South Dakota State, and you're going to go out there and you're going to play McNeese State on the first day of the college basketball season. And you looked at me and you pointed over towards a little point guard that was a freshman, kind of looked like Screech from Saved by the Bell, named Owen Larson. And you're like, that dude right there, he's the real deal. And he went out there, he had a game-winning shot in that game. He played great. He ended up averaging, I think it was 9 points and 3 assists for you. Tore his ACL late in the season. What's his development been in terms of getting healthy, and what are you expecting out of him? Because that's your point guard of the future right there.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you guys a year ago, I mean, Owen, he has all those intangibles, right? Like Tamin Lipsey is one of my favorite point guards in the country, and he has a lot of similarities to Tamin. I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but just that toughness, the ability to make others around you better, and loves the moment. And so, being able to bring him here to Drake with me and our staff was pretty important. And he's getting there. It takes a lot of hard work to be ready. We're certainly hopeful that Owen can play in our first game back in the Field of 68, right? So will that be a full go situation? Time will tell. But I know this, it won't be because of a lack of work and a lack of preparation to make that happen. But we're also not going to put him in a bad spot either.
And what's this team going to be like? Obviously, you bring in a lot of guys. Larson. A lot of these other guys you've never coached. All of these other guys you've never coached. How do you manage the expectations that people have for Drake basketball right now, with them understanding that this is a completely new group? It's not like what Ben McCollum brought in last year, because he brought a core with him from that he had coached. You're bringing one guy with you.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's totally different scenario. I mean, obviously, what Ben did here was incredible, and he's a terrific coach, obviously. But he was able to bring, a core group with him that understood how he wanted to play, his system per se, or however you want to call it. That's not necessarily the case with us, but the excitement's no different. I guarantee you that. I mean, I do believe that we brought a talented group in. I think we have some versatility. I want to continue to play very similar to the way we played at South Dakota State. I think our guys, are very versatile and they're very unselfish. We've always been a very, very good passing team, and I think this team can be that way. But when I look at this group that we put together, I wanted to make sure we got older guys that had some experience. We could play super, super physical. And my goal is to be one of the best defensive teams in our league. And I think we can be that. We've got great size. We've got some great athleticism in the backcourt that can really put some pressure on guys. And then I want to make sure we're taking advantage of opportunities offensively from our defense too. So there'll be a lot of similarities in the way we play, but just working on that connectivity right now and our guys' understanding of how we want to play with that freedom and confidence. It's a work in progress. And so our people understand, though, we're going to compete our butts off every day. That doesn't mean we're going to win every game we play. And our fans understand that. So we're really, really looking forward to getting started here.
Which of these transfers that are coming in, these new faces, has impressed you the most in off-season workouts in the spring and the fall?
They've all had moments, but guys that really stick out to me, a guy like Jalen Quinn, who had a really, really significant role at Loyola last year, has been dynamite. He can really, really guard the basketball. I think he'll be one of the better perimeter defenders in our league. And offensively, he can really, really get to the paint, which is important for the way we play. Oku Frederico, who was a transfer from South Carolina. He didn't play last year. He got over late second semester and sat out the rest of the year. But he has, 6'10" with some guard skills. You'll see him bringing up the ball in transition at times. And so he's really had some moments that have been terrific. Will Exact, who played at Utah, started at Utah, his career at Utah, and then was at Bowling Green last year, brings us some versatility. Isaiah Carr, Jay Sean Thomas, those guys, Braden Applehans, a guy from New Mexico, can really shoot it. They've all had moments, right? And the way we play, I think, can give our guys a lot of confidence and kind of they get a breath of fresh air sometimes. And that's nothing. That's not a knock on any of the programs that they were at. But I do feel like we give them, a bunch of confidence and a bunch of freedom, and a lot of guys like that. And so now there's a lot of discipline on the other side as well. But those are some of the guys that have probably stood out early to us.
All right, so Hendo, people in the Missouri Valley don't know your personality yet. I've had trouble getting some dirt on some coaches in the Valley. I'm not going to lie. You are not one of them. You are not one of them.
I can believe that.
I got a couple of good things that I want to hit you with. Let's start with the little bit simpler one. I think you're the only active college basketball coach right now that was a high school principal. Right? I mean,
I was that. Not only was that, I was a second grade teacher as well. But hey, some of the best started in that, right? So we'll see what happens.
Give me your favorite story of when you had to come down on a kid for something they did as a high school principal. Because I know you. You're not that tough. You're not a guy who's jumping your players all the time. You're kind of soft. Give me that time when you had to really maybe send a kid to detention or something, or after school, whatever it was.
Man, some of those are pretty hard to tell now, those stories. But I remember this wasn't even a principal. This was when I was teaching second grade.
Okay.
I was teaching second grade, and there was a note being passed between two kids. And I said, "Hey, come on, man, you got to give me that note." So they gave me the note. I didn't even read it. I put it in my pocket, let it ride. Recess comes up, and this is second grade, remember? And the note read, "Will you have blank with me? Check yes or no." And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, I take this to the principal. And he goes, "Oh boy, Hendo, are we going to have fun with this?" So I let him deal with it. But that's something that was pretty memorable.
All right. Well, we'll go on a different direction here. And
Please.
yeah, this is no better. I'm going to warn you, this is no better. You were a really good player at Wayne State. Your head coach back then, you know where I'm going with this, was Greg McDermott.
I'm well aware. I don't know where. I have a couple places this could go.
All right, there was an NCAA regional game where in the last minute, you guys lost this game. Brutal game, tough loss. Explain to me, describe to all the people how you guys lost this game.
Oh man, I may or may not have missed a few free throws down the stretch, but he wasn't smart enough. He wasn't smart enough to take me out, I guess, at that time.
How many free throws was it, Hendo?
It was just 2, but they were two pretty big ones.
He said it was 4.
He's lost his mind. He's past 60 now. He can't remember. It was my teammate that missed the other 2.
It sounds a lot better when it's you missing 4.
There might have been a few extras earlier. I don't remember. I'll tell you what, though, I went back that next year and I worked so hard at that. I felt so bad for my teammates, man, because that was crushing. I'll tell you that much.
All right, I'm gonna try my best to get this thing back on the rails. Okay, so you're coming from South Dakota and you're going to Iowa, which means you're kind of going to be recruiting in the same waters, so to speak, right? Like you actually got a South Dakota State kid or a South Dakota kid that committed to you as a freshman right now, Griffin Goodberry. So how valuable is that? I think one of the hardest things when you take a new job is learning the landscape of the new place that you're going to be at, figuring out these AAU coaches, these high school coaches, this is who I got to talk to, this is where I got to look at. How valuable is it to kind of already know the recruiting grounds that you're going to be stepping your toe in?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty valuable. I mean, obviously, we're going to recruit some of the same guys, that we did at South Dakota State. But more importantly, it's a lot of the connections that you have. I think you can still take advantage of. At Drake, we are, in a lot of different reasons. I think being able to, get a little bit higher level player, I think is certainly a possibility, and so. But you're still using a lot of those same connections, right? We want to continue to recruit Midwest kids, even though, we are going to recruit all across the country. I mean, the product that we have to sell here at Drake is incredibly special. It's an incredible degree that they're going to get. They get to live in a community that's amazing. And obviously the way we play, I think, is a fun style. And so to be able to use those connections that we've had in the past is certainly important. But we were able to bring in a couple new staff members that, when you do that, you bring in more connections. And so we've been able to recruit, a different type of player as well, but also in some regions that we haven't maybe been able to recruit at South Dakota State. So it is important, but being able to continue to, expand that reach is also valuable as well.
All right, last question. If I said to you, X needs to happen in order for Drake to compete for another NCAA tournament berth this year, what would that be?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's 2 X's probably. Number one, I think we need to stay healthy. I think we have a group of guys that I think can be super competitive if we stay healthy. And then I think if we continue to grow our connectivity, especially on the defensive end, if we become the best defensive team in the league, we're going to give ourselves a chance every single night. And I think we can do that. I think we got great versatility in the way we can guard. We can be super athletic. We got great length. And then obviously we got to get first shot rebounds. But I think, it's our goal, at the end of the year to see Drake basketball, either 1 or 2 in the Missouri Valley Conference when you're looking at team defense.
Well, Hendo, we will get the first look at what the new era of Drake basketball looks like at the Field of 68 opening day marathon. You guys are going to be taking on Northern Arizona in Sioux Falls at the Pentagon. Can't wait to see you up there. I'm shocked based on the questions that you get asked every single time that you see us, that you decided to come up there. So I appreciate you having a good sense of humor, and we look forward to seeing you up there in Sioux Falls. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be back with more from Missouri Valley Media Day here on the Field of 68.